Hello, this is Moundmaker, and today I'm back with another Elden Ring Nightreign exploration guide. Today's topic is a full breakdown on the Great Hollow Northern Castle. And just like my video on the Great Hollow Southern Castle, I hand drew some maps to go along with this guide. I will use these maps at times during this video, and you will also find a link to download them in the description. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the pillaging. There's two types of castles that can be in the north. The fire castles, which feature 10 elites, 9 mini-bosses, and 2 bosses, for a total of 11 dormant powers. And then there's the magic castle, features 10 elites, 9 mini-bosses, and 2 bosses, for 11 dormant powers. Before we fully explore each type of castle, I'm going to do what I did on the first video, which is to show the most common route that I see good players take. After that, we'll go ahead and do a quick run through of the entire castle. This run typically begins at the start of day 2. Once the curse has been cleared, you want to jump to the south castle. You want to jump towards the broken bridge that the Wayward Gate is on. Once you land, go ahead and take that gate. From there, you want to face your character so that it's running between the statues and going towards the broken bridge arch. Once you reach that arch, you want to go a little to the right and off the side of the cliff. Once you're down there, you want to look for a darker set of rocks that hang over the edge, and then go ahead and jump to the other side off of those rocks. From here, head in this direction, past this sleepy crab, and then down this sewer and to the right. Once you reach this room, you will find either an omen killer or a bloodhound knight. Kill them for the first dormant power. This room also contains 2 chests and an incantation table. Loot them if you wish. Leaving this room, down the hallway, if we continue straight, it would eventually lead to another room with an omen killer or bloodhound knight. But we're taking a left instead. Breaking the crystal in the center of this room does 2 things. First, it allows us to spring jump up to the normal area of the castle for a boss fight. It also breaks the seal on the room straight ahead, which is where we're heading now for a boss fight. The bosses here pull from the same boss pool that occurs on top of the castle in Limveld. So, if you're good at taking rooftop bosses down, you shouldn't have a problem here. And once they're cleared, backtrack to where the crystal was and jump up. This will take you to the center of the castle. If the castle is magic, the boss here will be the Godskin duo. If the castle is fire, like this one, the boss will be the Golden Hippo. If you happen to die during the fight, you'll end up over here, close to where we went past the sleepy crab and entered the sewer. If we go past that entrance and past this boulder that sticks out, you'll find a spring jump, and you can use that jump to end up but a few steps away from being back in the Golden Hippo boss fight. Once that boss is killed, how much time is left will decide what you do from here. You can go to the Talisman House in the back if you're searching for a good talisman. You can go kill more mini-bosses for more dormant powers. You can loot chests or racks. Or you can go back to the 3-story tower and clear as many stories as you can. It's up to you. And now, we're going to do a full castle rundown. Starting at the bonfire, we'll head straight ahead. If the castle is fire, there will be a fire knight guarding the entrance. If it's magic, there will be a black flame monk. I call the next section the stairs section, because every path leads to a stair. For magic, there will be 2 black flame monks here and another up the left side stairs who would typically come down the stairs and try to flank you if you engage the other 2. If this castle is flame, there will be a mini-boss version of a fire knight. The first level of this castle is very heavy on the right side and very light on the left side, so we'll do the left side first. This is just a wide path that leads to the Talisman House, which we'll cover later in the video. It also leads to the center section that we already covered. Now I'm going to backtrack to the entrance. We could go straight, but that just leads to the same central area. Instead, we'll go right, up 2 sets of stairs, bringing us to a mini-boss area for both maps. There is a bow rack. And there is a chest. If it's a magic castle, there will be 2 more elite monks here. Up these stairs, you can just jump up on the barrels to reach a second level, which we'll be covering later in the video. But for now, we're going to jump down and head towards the back, which has a staircase down. There's an alternate entrance to the sewer there, and 3 lootable bodies here. An elite will be patrolling this area, regardless of which element the castle is. There's a merchant and chest up in this area. To the left is the central area. If we head to the back of the castle, it'll appear we only have 1 direction to go, but there's actually 2. First is the entrance to the Talisman House, which is in the direction I'm heading right now. I'm going to try not to be engaged by this hippo, so I can show you the next section, which is straight along this wall. Once you reach this section, jump up. I'm showing you the entrance to the mines where you can get the purple level smithing stone upgrade, but I'm not exploring, as it's not technically part of the castle. What is part of the castle is this area here, which is part of the second level, which again, I am covering later. Next up, we're going to cover the very top of the castle. To reach it, you have to reach the spring jump, which is on the second level. If we get up to the second level and go left, we begin exploring the second level, but instead, we're going right. There is a sorcerer's rack in this area. It's not in this video, but it's to the left of the spring jump. We are on the top level, on this broken bridge section. There will once again be an omen killer or bloodhound knight. Out, just a little further, to the right, is a chest. I'll go ahead and show it. Going back and to the right, we'll find the top of the castle, which is where we'll fight an enhanced boss if one spawns in. From here, we can reach pretty much any area that's on the right side of the map by just jumping down. As you see here, I've landed on the second level area overlooking the entrance and stairs area. So let's go ahead and get down and go over the second level now. But once again, we'll do the right side stairway first. Once you get up on this ledge, directly to the left will be a mini-boss. Either a Godskin Noble, if magic, or Fire Knight, if fire. Running past the area and going right will lead to another elite in front of us. To the right is the same section we saw earlier when covering the area next to the mines. There's a Godskin Noble or a Fire Knight mini-boss here, and a bow rack and chest. Backtracking and going straight will lead to yet another entrance into the Talisman House. The section of this second level that goes directly over top of the central area contains 3 chests. There's an elite if magic, but no elite if fire. From here, all that's left for magic is this Godskin Apostle mini-boss and a chest. Further down this pathway, there will be an elite if you have the fire, and another entrance into the Talisman House. Backtracking once again to the Broken Bridge area. There will be an elite there if fire. Going right, there is one final entrance into the Talisman House, which will be guarded by our Fire Knight if it's a fire castle. There are 2 more sections of this second level, but they aren't really worth covering, so I'll just show them on the map. If you have fire, there's an elite here, and there's one here as well. And a chest, too, but I can't imagine that's good enough to lure any of you out there. We've talked a lot about the Talisman House, so let's go ahead and visit there. Starting back once again at the bonfire, and we'll go ahead and do that same left side run that we did earlier. I call this the Talisman House because there's a talisman chest that seems to be the main reason people come here, outside of doing the Remembrance quest for Scholar and Undertaker. There's also no consensus on what this structure is called. I had considered calling it a Sorcerer's Rack Tower since it houses those, but I figured that would only be appropriate if there were 2 towers. But anyway, the bottom level of this house has a mini-boss. It will be either a troll if the castle is fire, or a graven mass if it's magic. There's another entrance to the mines under the staircase. Up those stairs you'll find some normal enemies guarding a chest and a sorcerer's rack. In the room to the back is where there begins to be differences. At the magic castle, there's no chest in this room. At the fire castle, there's 2. In the next room over, there's another difference. In the magic castle, there's 2 chests. If it's fire, there's only 1. These stairs take us to the top floor. In this room, there's nothing going on except 2 exits out to the second level. The next room over contains 1 chest and a sorcerer's rack. Back out into the main area, we find a giant rock-like structure in the center of the room, and it is scalable. Scaling it will get to the rafters of the house. That enemy is not normally up there, so I was not expecting that. Anyway, I'm going to use the magic of fast forward and get back up there real quick. Moving across the rafters to this hole, you'll find a talisman chest inside. And that's all there is to the Talisman's house. There's only one more part of the castle we haven't covered, and that's the remaining part of the sewer. We covered the west side of it at the beginning of the video, but there's a small section we didn't cover, and this wouldn't be a complete guide if I left it out. So here's a quick rundown. We're going to start by going in on the right side of the castle. If you get to Northern Starting Camp, this is where the Spectral Hawk will drop you off. You can also access it by running to the right of the castle from the bonfire. This area here, with the stream, is where we'll enter. Note that up ahead is a flask upgrading church that spawns on every map. It's not random. Turning left, I'm just going to real quick jump up on this ledge to show you where it leads. As you can see, it leads back to the merchant area that's part of the main level. We're going to head back down, further down this section here, until we reach a room. This room will have yet another Omen Killer or Bloodhound Knight mini-boss. Head out and down the hallway until we reach the next room, which is a pretty big room that contains warrior jars. But there's not much going on for it other than a single chest. Even though we already explored it, I'm going to head down this hallway. But that's just to give you a visual connector. Up ahead is the crystal that we cracked earlier. Since I've already shown it, I'm going to go ahead and turn around and go back to the final room of this castle. Past the pot. And head up these stairs to the final mini-boss area. However, I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to return momentarily. The room I just left has either an Omen Killer or Bloodhound Knight in it. We're just heading back towards the bonfire at the entrance of the castle. I'm going to turn around and an Omen Killer is there. That's just because it followed me out of the room I just left, which is the room here. And that leads to the small hallway, which I'll go down as this video ends. And that is the entire Great Hollow Northern Castle. Remember, there's a link in the description to maps of this castle. And that's about it. I'm Moundmaker. Until next time, take care.